Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and we do a few reality shows on the side. And one of the daytime television shows that we're doing, a little bit of crap on my phone, there we go. One of the daytime television shows that we're doing is Days of Our Lives, and I've got to say, and I know I've said this every single week for like the past few weeks, but Days is really getting so good. It really is. So last week, or 2 weeks ago, we saw that Sami Brady was back. At the end, on Friday's episode, we saw Sami come back because John and Paul were about to dig up Will's grave, and she grabbed the shovel from John. She's like, over my dead body. You know, you're not doing anything with my son, or whatever, right? So it was great. And here's the thing about Sami, which I love. First of all, I love Sami Brady. FYI. So there was this one guy that I was dating a while ago. He worked for Aaron Spelling. And he used to call me his little Sami Brady. Because I was a little bit, how can I put this? More mischievous in my youth. Because, you know, Sammy's kind of a schemer. And I didn't have a problem with that nickname at all, actually, because I love Sami Brady so much. I had no problem. He can call me Sammy all he wants. That was fine. God, I haven't thought about that guy in a long time. That was a while ago. Okay, anyways, moving on. I mean, Aaron Spelling doesn't even have a production company anymore, does he? I haven't even looked to see, because, I mean, he died, so I don't know if he still has... Anyways, moving on. What I love about Sami Brady is that she has not changed not one fucking bit, right? So this week we saw Sami a little more often because she's back on the show. She has signed a contract. She is back on the show, which thank God, right? So she's back, and we saw that, she's still pissed off at John. Now, for a little bit of history, for those of you that don't know, the reason why Sami really hates John is that when Sami was, I don't know, maybe like 15 years old, this was like 20 years ago, right? She walked in on her mom and John having sex on an office table, on a desk, I guess, at an office, right? But the thing is that Marlena was married to Roman at the time. So this was really her cheating on Roman with John, who she ended up marrying, but still... that really pissed Sami off, you know, because, and you know what, to keep it 100 with you guys, I feel the exact same way, because Marlena is very haughty about taking the moral high ground with everybody, right, all the time. So the fact that she had an affair with someone, it pissed Sami off, and it would piss me off too, right, because since then she hasn't had any... Marlena hasn't really shown any remorse for that, right? They've had, I keep saying right. I'm going to stop doing that. So she keeps, they've had some serious conversations about it, but Marlena hasn't really shown any remorse to Sami. So I do kind of enjoy that Sami has really kept that through line throughout her entire run as Sami Brady, as she hates John Black. Because she thinks John Black really broke up her parents' marriage. Which is, to a certain extent, true. But you can't hold John accountable for everything because Marlena is just as much to blame. Okay. So having said that, in addition to all of that, she also hates Abigail. Now, this is more of a recent turn of events. So before Sami left the show last time... Abby had an affair with her husband, EJ. Now, EJ isn't coming back yet, that we know of. I'm still waiting on Susan. I really want Susan Banks to come back because Susan is EJ's mother, and Susan was by far the best character that Eileen Davidson played. And we know Eileen Davidson is coming back to the show, and we know they won't tell us which character. I really hope it's as Susan. If not as Susan, I hope it's as Kristen, but I really hope. I love Susan better than Kristen. I would love it to be Susan, so I'm just saying. Okay, so EJ had this affair with Abby right before him and Sami got married. Now, Sami, God bless her, this was another great thing, was that Sami found out about it before the wedding, and instead of confronting Abigail right then and there, she waited until absolutely everyone was at her wedding, and then she ripped Abigail to shreds in front of the whole town. I love it. I mean, you got to give the girl credit because she's got some panache, right? She knows how to do shit right, right? Okay. All right. So, so what happens is Sami comes home, or she comes back to the DeMera mansion. She hasn't been to the DeMera mansion since EJ died. She comes to the DeMera mansion. She sees the picture of Stefano, which, even though it wasn't a huge, like, they didn't make a big production out of her seeing Stefano's picture, it was nice seeing that reference to Stefano. I'm sorry, I think Stefano was one of the best actors ever, right? Which is funny because Lisa Rinna says he's the worst actor, and she, I don't know if she was serious or not, but I disagree wholeheartedly. I could name you 5 other actors off the top of my head that are better than, that are worse than Stefano DeMera. Just saying. Excuse me. Okay, so there was, so Sami comes in, she sees all this stuff, and then she sees, oh, Chad's home. So she sees Abigail come up, and she runs and she plants a huge kiss on Chad, like a kiss on Chad. And Chad's like, okay, obviously you did that to get back at Abigail, but here's the thing. I kind of enjoyed it. I kind of didn't mind seeing Sami and Chad together. I know all the Chabby fans and all the, what's the other? Oh, well, that's all the Chabby fans, whether it's Chad and Abby or Chad and Gabby. Which, FYI, the show needs to come up with some better names for people. I'm just saying. I'm more of a Chammy fan. Let's get that started. I wouldn't mind seeing Chad and Sami together. I really would. I think that would be sort of hot. So we found out this week that the reason how they have explained Will being alive, and I gotta give them props because they managed to find the one thing, and I knew they would. I hoped they would. I wasn't necessarily 100% sure because, let's be real, we've seen a lot of bungled writing from the staff of Days of Our Lives over the past few years. I'm going to be honest. It's true. They are really on a roll lately, though, and so their big thing was the person who brought Will back to life was Dr. Rolfe. Because Dr. Rolfe is the one who brought back all kinds of people when he worked for Stefano back in the 90s. So it makes sense that he would be the one to bring Will back to life. So now they're on this mission to find Dr. Rolfe and to figure out, if Will is back to life. And Sami tells Lucas, who has been drinking and has fallen off the wagon completely. I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, so whether you were a Rami fan, which was a Rafe and Sami fan, or you were an Ejami fan, which was an EJ and Sami fan, I was neither. I was actually one of the rare few that was a Lumi fan, which is a Lucas and Sami, because I love Lucas and Sami together. Now, hopefully, Ron Carlivati is either a Chammy or a Lumi person, because they'll either put Sami with either Chad or Lucas, and either one. I'm okay with either one. I really am. I think I would be totally fine with either one, and the character would be 100% justified either way. Obviously, since he is Will's father, Sami would feel a strong attraction to Lucas, right? And they could use this opportunity looking to see if Will is alive, for them to get back together. But I wouldn't mind seeing Sami go full on cougar and go out with Chad to piss off Abigail because she hates Abigail for fucking her husband EJ. I'd be okay with that too. Either way, I'm just thrilled Sami is back. I think I'm very excited to see where this is going to go for her. And really, that was really the only storyline that saw any kind of motion at all, except there was a little bit of forward motion with the Bonnie Lockhart story, but it was mostly with Adrian in jail getting the information from Hattie. She was getting the goods from Hattie. So we'll see what happens. But But my qualm with that storyline, real quick, is that so Adrian had this meeting at jail with Hattie, and she basically convinced Hattie that if she doesn't give her the goods, then Steve is going to find out about what happened or whatever, right? But that seems a little kind of rushed. It really does, and that is not good writing, because it just feels like that is the flimsiest of excuses to get Hattie to roll over, and she totally sang like a fucking canary. I was like, okay, girl, okay. I mean, I'll buy it, but I'm not a big fan. I don't think that is that smart, but anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Angel Benton. You can hashtag Days to Talk Days of Our Lives, or you can also hashtag YR to talk Young and the Restless. And you can also hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel to get my YouTube videos sent to your email inbox every single day. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.